Morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. What is going on? What is up? How is everyone doing? So, what's everyone looking at this week? You don't do anything good? Let's get some comments in the chat. Drop a like in the video, please. Would appreciate it. Looking to have a killer week here in the market. Feeling good. All right, we have a ton of clean setups this week. I'm going to cover them all quickly. So, let's go over. Yes, I will cover Tesla for everyone asking. Not every setup's going to work, right? Can't expect to enter every single trade for it to work, right? You need to enter a trade with the anticipation of it going red, right? Because you don't want to risk more than you can afford to lose, right? You win about 70% of the trades over the long run, right? Some weeks you might lose 50%, some weeks you might lose not at all, right? But over the long run, it tends to average out to be about a 70 to 80% win rate if you trade these patterns, right? So not every trade's gonna win. That's why you need to size correctly on every single trade. I know Cedar posted her let me pull it up quickly. Her monthly recap for this month, I think, or maybe it was just 12 too. Oh yeah, it was just 12 too at 5% per position. Let me open this up actually. All right, so Cedar posted this chart. This was 16.4% on the month, 2 days in, and properly sized at no more than 5% position. Right, this is not an actual contract amount that she took, but it's just based on a $10,000 portfolio. Okay. Right, so at 5% of her portfolio, right, based on a $10,000 port, right, ended up 16.4% in 2 days. This is how proper position sizing works, right? And look, she lost 1, 2, 3, 4 trades out of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So she averaged about the win rate that I mentioned, right? So this is why you need to size correctly, and this is why you need to understand that you're not gonna win every single setup, right? Yep. So Cedar said this is just 2 days. Going to start do this every day again. You know, with the sample value portfolio. This is extremely helpful. Thank you, Cedar, for doing this. It kind of clears up a picture of why position sizing is super important. Okay, right? At a $10,000 portfolio, this is 5%. This is great. Yep, 70% win rate over the last decade. And right, this is why I say, right, some weeks you're going to do better and some weeks you're going to do worse, but over the long run you're going to average about a 70% win rate, and that's typically what it comes out to be. Okay, right? Also, look, big wins, small losses, right? You have to follow the setup. The setup is always going to tell you what to do. So just something to note. All right, SPY. So, right, previous resistance, we had this triple top rejection that we ended up breaking down from, right, rising wedge, right? Then we came back down, we consolidated, pulled back to the lows before that monster moved to the upside, right? Now we're hovering right over this previous resistance as a potential new support, right? We bounced right off of it on December 2nd, and we are sitting right at the bottom of this wedge. Okay, so at open we're going to be below this wedge. So if this level can't reclaim, 404.33, right, which is this previous low that we bounced at, right? We're most likely going to pull back and test this 402.31 level, or, you know, right around 402.93, right in that range. 402 is you know, definitely what we need to hold today. If not, puts are going to be in play, right? Also, if we take a look at VIX, right, not the most significant resistance I've ever drawn in my life, but you know, we can use it today. Right, this pink trend line, right, we rejected it once, and then we opened up on VIX right above it, right? If this high breaks 20.32, which we're testing it right now, right, if this breaks out to the upside, we're most likely going to move to 21 plus, right, which means SPY would pull back, right? And if this level breaks 402.31, we're most likely going to pull back to, you know, around the next demand zone, right, which is right around this region here, right by this point of control, 395 or so. Right, but I would look to take profits if this does pull back around this region, right, because typically it will start to get bouncy right before, you know, the level hits. Okay, and so here's SPY, but if SPY does show some strength here in open, right, I'm not going to look to go long at all until, you know, we probably test that 407.86 level, which is the high wedge. QQQ, same thing. Get into some setups here. All right, looking at the 1 hour, just for the beginning of the week, overall setups. Right, AMD, we bounced multiple times off this low. We're sitting at the bottom of this wedge here. Right, so if this low breaks, right, 73.65, need to watch for a breakdown of this wedge, right? We have a huge flag here. If this breaks, right, we're probably going to pull back and test, right, this previous resistance, which acted as a previous support, right, which is 70, right? We see a 3-point move to the downside. If it holds, right, I would look for longs above 75.8. Right, and then we have a gap to be filled, and then, you know, a potential push to that resistance at 79. Right, if the market does this, you do that. Try not to predict, just play the levels. Snow, another name I'm watching, right? One of you guys mentioned this on stream last week, before it broke out. Huge move, great analysis on whoever pointed that out. Right, broke out, perfect flag. We're sitting at the lows here, right around 147.99. Right, this previous resistance acted as support. So if this level fails to hold, we could potentially see a move back down to that opening breakout range, which is right around here. Okay, right around this region if it pulls back. If this breaks out, right, over 151.79, which is, you know, this previous resistance, rejected there again, rejected a few times, to totally see a move to the highs. Right, but if the market does this, you do that. Make sure you have a setup for both directions. Square, another setup I really like. I know C-Blast loves to play this name. Definitely keeping an eye on it. If you guys please can drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. Actually, I have a decent amount of people here this morning, over 200. Thanks for everyone stopping by. If anyone has any questions, please don't be afraid to ask in the chat. I like answering questions more than covering charts because it'll stick with you longer. So Square, right, sitting right below this pink trend line here. Right, we're flagging very nicely. Higher lows, lower highs, kind of have a triple top right here. Looking for 69.24 to the upside. If this breaks, watch for calls. Right. Also, if the lows get taken out, you can easily play puts for a move back down to the bottom of this trend line. Right, a retest would make sense. Right, we probably would test this level right here. Right, 64.26, which is this previous resistance. Right, and it lines up perfectly with this diagonal level. First repo chart. Let's see. Here's the chart Cedar just mentioned. Reverse repo. Not something I typically look at, but something to just to note. Sure. All right, always make sure you're going into the market insight section I know Cedar posts a ton of great content there all the time. So definitely take a look at that. Ava also posts her watch list as well with the news to look out for. Right? It's never a bad idea to have too much knowledge, right? A lot of material in there. So go take a look at that. All right, we have data coming out at 10 a.m. East. Service index data. We have unemployment claims data on Thursday at 8:30 East, and then we have producer price index at PPI for November on Friday at 8:30 East as well. All right, let's cover Tesla because everyone's going to be freaking out over it. Okay, first of all, let me cover the other questions first, actually. M asked best rules to set stop losses. Find a support below, right? Find a support below if you're taking calls, and if it breaks that support, you exit the position. Simple as that. What time frame is best to plot support and resistance? Depends what Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Depends what type of trading you're doing, right? All are good, right? The higher the time frame, the more valid. Am I worried about Tesla being down? So Jonathan asked, am I worried about Tesla being down? You should never be worried, right? Worrying is an emotion, right? You can't use emotion when trading. Never be worried. Not every setup's going to work, like I mentioned, right? If the setup fails, you move on to the next trade, right? You find where the stop loss is going to be, and that's it. But you should have your stop loss before you enter the trade, right? So what did I mention before you entered the trade, right? The stop loss on Friday was going to be if this level got taken out, right? 191.11, right? If this level breaks today, which is 188.5, this previous resistance, right? I'll exit the position. Simple as that. Do I still use Elliott wave theory? No. Let's take a look. Right, so everyone on Twitter was mentioning this. Yes, I see it. Right, from the highs. Right, rejecting perfectly. Right, we also have this trend line here. Right, huge level. Yeah, it's good to keep an eye on. Just trade the levels. Right, continue to trade the levels. Too many pink trend lines on this chart. Market insight section to start the day. Awesome. Yeah, you should never be worried, right? Worried is a sense of emotion, right? And you don't want emotion when you're trading. You just want to stick to the charts. And it's very difficult to do, right? It sounds very easy, just don't be emotional. But, right, most of trading is emotions, right? If everyone could please drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. Also, if you're in the Discord, I know we have some people here that aren't in the Discord. Please, 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 right now, let's take a minute break. Go to the announcements tab and fill out this form. Please, 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 please. Right. I don't care if you drop a like in the video. This is way more helpful. Right. This is how we promote people. This is how we have feedback. This is how we make improvements on the server and BullTrades in general. Okay. Please fill this out. Vote for me if you want. If I do you any justice. Right. I think you can pick 3. So, right. 3 favorite people. Right, please, please, please fill this out. I could post the link actually in the channel here. Here we go. Your sub, let's go, Bino. Looking forward to having you. Oh, Chris. Make sure you fill that out. A huge help. All right, feedback is always greatly appreciated. Awesome. Welcome to the fam, Bino. Welcome to the fam. Okay. Cover some more setups. Right, Tesla's covered. Right, we had a perfect falling wedge, although, right, the negative news this morning kind of put that down. Tesla. Right, the news on Tesla, right, sales were down a tiny bit. That's it, which is why Tesla's down 2.8% here in pre-market. Weakest here in pre-market. It is what it is. Let's see, right, Snow we covered, Square I covered, Netflix. So, right, we had this huge cup and handle, huge wedge breakout, amazing setup. Now, right, let's take a look at the overall setup first. Right, so first things first, right, next resistance above, if this does continue to push, is 330.2, right? We have a previous double bottom at this level. All right, but if we do pull back here, right, because we do have a rising wedge, so watch if this double top here, 321.98, I'll make it red so we could identify it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Tesla's cutting Shanghai production. That's what I meant. What was I saying? Right, Netflix, right? Double top, rising wedge, right? The lows are starting to fade, right? It's getting pretty wicky. And the highs, I mean, the lows are looking like they want to get taken out, right? So this could totally see a pullback to 312.71, right? And then if that drops, right, we're most likely going to pull back very big. Right, so keeping an eye on Netflix big time today. Right, set your alerts. Oh, they changed this. They changed the alert tab. That's pretty cool. So now on TradingView, that's pretty interesting. Right, so one thing that you guys should definitely do, right, so alerts are probably like my most important thing that I do to keep myself notified of potential moves that are coming. Right, so I'll set an alert. Let's say I want to keep an eye on Netflix to the upside. Right, I'll add an alert. Netflix crossing 320.56, but like in the middle of the day, I won't remember what that means. Right, so I'll just type in after the alert, watch for upside over the double top, right? And then I'll create it, and then once that alert gets triggered, right, this is what will pop up on my computer or my phone. All right, so definitely just a, you know, a little tip that can be extremely beneficial. All right, and you can also change it for a condition, right? You can do it when it's crossing up or when it's crossing down, right? You could do, there's a bunch of different things you could do here. Right, I only have it so it triggers once. You can also change it so it triggers every time. You can change the expiration date. I leave it for a month out, which is probably too long, but leave it how it is. Alert name you could change as well. Right, you can also have it send you a notification via email, or play a sound, or send an email to your text. This is TradingView. Microsoft I wanted to mention as well, right? We have a triple top here, right? We're sitting right in this range, right? This previous resistance acted as resistance, acted as support, right? So if this holds, right, Microsoft's not pretty strong here in pre-market compared to the overall market. So watch for a triple top breakout here, right? I'll even edit the alert. Oops. Triple top break. Watch. Okay. That. Right. Apple within this flag here, right? If this breaks 148, watch for a push up to 149.13. Right. That's what I'm watching on Apple. Set an alert. Alert has been set. Okay. Coin, right? Overall setup. Look at the double bottom on the daily, right? Previous support here from May 12th. Right, we bounced right off of it perfectly. Higher lows are being put in place. Start to curl up. All right, keep an eye on this. See how this plays out. Okay, broke this downtrend here. Nvidia, right? Perfect flag breakout. Hold back to this previous resistance as a new support, hovering right here in pre-market. China, very strong here. BABA PDD. Keep an eye on that. All right, 5 minutes to market open. Let's switch over to the Discord. I do have to go grab something from my door quickly. So I'll be in voice chat. I will let's switch over there. I do have to go get someone from my door quickly, so I'm gonna end it like 2 minutes early, but I'll be in the Discord at market open. I will see you guys in voice chat.